There have been dozens of new e-commerce brands that have been started this year, including Magic Mind, and their founder said that they are already on pace to do over $1 million a year in sales. In today's video, we're doing a deep dive teardown into their website and how they're converting first-time visitors into repeat customers from day one. My name is Connor, I'm on Privy's marketing team, and if you love these website teardown videos, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We're posting them weekly, including sharing tips on how to go and grow your e-commerce brands. Let's start off with Magic Mind by beginning on their homepage. One reason that I wanted to go into a deep dive on Magic Mind's website is because their product is really interesting. They create a nootropic productivity drink that helps lower stress and give you more energy throughout the day. And I think that this is really interesting because they're not just selling water or another basic commodity. They're selling something that's really unique. And so if you're selling a product where the customer is going to want a lot of information about it, it's important to go and be incredibly descriptive on the site so that way you can answer any concerns they have, any questions as they come up. The other reason that I thought it was really interesting is because they emphasize on creating repeat customers upon the first purchase. So you can see on the top banner part, it says back in stock, get 20% off when you choose subscribe and save. So their goal is not to go and get a one-time buyer and be done. Their goal is to go and turn visitors into repeat buyers the second that they hit the site. So with that in mind, let's go and start breaking down their homepage. First of all, the world's first productivity drink. I think that this is an interesting tagline. I think that I would maybe go and edit this a little bit more because coffee is one of the most consumed products in the world along with tea. And I think that might confuse people right off the bat thinking, well, isn't coffee a productivity drink or isn't tea a productivity drink? So I would maybe go and think about revamping that actual headline. I like how they have a review front and center along with a product screenshot or a product mock-up to kind of show you what the bottles look like, what the packaging looks like, and show that they have happy customers like Amy who has considerable more energy and less stress. And then they do address the headline issue here, right? Coffee only wakes me up. This makes me more focused and more productive. So I think it's an interesting comparison. I think that they can still go and dive a little bit further into it as well, though. Now, going down here as a side note, I absolutely love their branding. I think that when it comes time for supplements and some kind of performance drinks, they actually stand out a lot from a lot of the supplements I've seen on the market by having a more fun lifestyle product. Now, I really like this headline, do more, stress less. This to me feels more like an actual headline and better copy than the productivity copy, but to each their own. Now, here they go and break down all of the ingredients and really the benefits of using Magic Mind. So it's matcha, nootropics, adaptogens, and honey for the taste. So I thought that this part of the website is pretty helpful. I would maybe add in a call to action here to go and get over to their product page. Now, down here on the Get the Transformation, this part is genius, especially if they're going and combating against things like energy drinks and coffee. They actually go and do a side-by-side breakdown. And so if you're selling other products where you think that the customer might have a big competitor in your minds, now you're able to go and compare them side by side by doing a breakdown. You can see here with the coffee and energy one, they show that how when you drink coffee or energy, you have issues with anxiety, sleeplessness, and it can be harmful for compounds like L-tyrosine and excessive amounts of sugar. But they actually go and break down the decreased stress, decreased inflammation, heap of antioxidants. I think that the only thing that I might go and change about this section is go and add some headlines here, right? So right here, increased focus is the same font and size as the line main mushrooms. And so if you have a product with a lot of complicated ingredients, hard to pronounce words, I think it's important to go and push the consumer to what the benefits are. And then underneath for those more health conscious folks and the people who want to go and understand the product a little bit more, that's where you can go and dive into the actual ingredients. So I think that would be the only piece of advice I would have there. Going down even more, this part is probably my favorite part about the homepage, and I think that I've seen a lot of different e-commerce companies do this before, is whenever you create an ebook or publish a guide to something, or even just create any piece of content, being able to say that you wrote the book on something is a huge piece of credibility, right? So you can see here they have an ebook called Beyond Coffee, a sustainable guide to nootropics, adaptogens, and mushrooms. And it says, we wrote the book on it, literally backed by over 240 scientific studies. Beyond Coffee is a simple guide for more energy, more focus, less stress, naturally and safely. And so I think that this is really great, right? Because they have the, is this for real? That it will take you to their landing page. But I think that what they really do well here is they build up trust, right? They say there's 240 different scientific studies. Maybe none of them were conducted by them, but now it aligns them with showing that it's backed by science and not just some other supplement on the market that may or may not work. So I think this is a great lead gen magnet for them. Another thing that they do that's pretty interesting, I think, is they don't just put the reviews from customers on the page. I think this homepage is an absolute masterclass in building trust with the brand, because they don't just include things from Becky and Josh and Joe. They include actual logos from companies that we all really look up to and respect, such as Google, Airbnb, Apple, Superhuman. And so by showing that employees there, smart employees, people who are health conscious there, take their product, it builds up some credibility with the brand. And of course, they also have their actual reviews, as I think is good for any brand. And what I like even more about it is that underneath this part, right, I think this part actually might be a little bit better if it was brought up more and they just had the lead magnet up there. So I think that could maybe go, or they can go and consolidate those into two. But back to the reviews, rather than just having the reviews on the product, I think what's so cool is that they actually had social proof by adding them directly from Twitter, right? So you see things from John F., Douglas Irwin, Patrick D. You can scroll all the way over talking about people who are raving about it, not just on their product page, but publicly to their friends, to people on Twitter. So if you can find a way to go and move the conversation onto social, I think it's a great way for you to go and build up more credibility on the site. And another thing that they add here on the homepage that I think is pretty smart are all of FAQs, right? So it's, what is it? Is it safe? Should I consume Magic Mind? You want your website to be your number one sales rep for the product. And so by having an FAQ page on the homepage, or even just in the top nav bar, you're able to go and do that. And I think their nav bar is pretty simple, right? You can either learn more about the product or buy it now. So we'll dive into this in just a sec. And then it says we're on social. Cool. I think that this is a fine section to have on the bottom, but I think they can also do without it, and it'd probably be pretty simple. And then they have another CTA at the end. Always end whatever page you have with a CTA, right? Because as people are scrolling down and learning about the product, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to buy. And a lot of the times that's just clicking one button rather than scrolling all the way back up to the top to go and buy now or shop up here in the nav bar. So with that being said, that's the homepage. Now let's go and jump on over to the actual learn section where it talks about what's in the product. And I think if you have a complex product like Magic Mind, where they have a custom formula and they're building everything from scratch with a lot of different supplements and products in it that you probably can't even pronounce, let alone know what they do, it's important to have a section that really teaches customers what it is your product does. So I think that from an animation and visual standpoint, this is pretty cool, right? It's a fun little display as to what all the products do and what the ingredients do inside the product. What I would maybe think about considering, and they've obviously probably tested this more than I have, is the ability to go and actually reverse this, right? So rather than saying something like, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, cordyceps mushrooms, maybe something along the line of saying reduce inflammation or build endurance. And then when you hover over it, then go into the actual cordyceps mushrooms. Because I think that's just an easier way to go and actually show the benefits of using a product like Magic Mind rather than just showing the ingredients. And then they also do another thing by showing the credibility of who actually built this, right? So it says, meet the scientific team. In addition to 7 years of research, 55 iterations of Magic Mind, our scientific advisory board of doctors and medical researchers continually assess and improve Magic Mind's productivity formulation. So you can tell that there's been several iterations on the actual brand, and you can see here all of the different doctors, right? You can see Dr. Andrew, Dr. Dan, Dr. Christina, right? PhDs, MDs, everything like that, who are actually going and consulting on the formula, so you know that it works. And then down here, they talk a little bit about the principles, what they want to go and focus on. They have a little contribution here, 5 cents for every bottle sold goes to mental health charities. So I think that it definitely is an easy way to go and learn more about the company, the brand, and the team. And they have their lead magnet here as well, along with their FAQ. So I think this is all smart. And customer reviews. Now, here's an interesting part, right? If you actually go to the buy now section of the product, it'll take you here, and the default option is to subscribe and save. They have the reviews at the top. They show the difference between a 15 pack and a 30 pack and the cost per bottle from a subscribe and save versus a one-time purchase. They've got lifetime shots, right? The product looks big, but when you see it actually in the lifestyle, you know that it's a pretty small bottle. And so I think that it's pretty important to go and include all of these different lifestyle shots, especially if you're selling a product like Magic Mind. You want to go and include the ingredients. And what I really like is that it shows things like back in stock, to think that, hey, maybe there's a chance that if I don't buy this today, I might run out. And they also go and talk about free shipping on subscriptions, cancel any times, so we can go and actually handle a lot of objections. They also go and break down here with all of their enhanced brand content down below, the description, the ingredients, and the shipping to show you how long it'll take to actually go and get this. And then a lot of this content is just what we've already seen on the homepage and on the Learn More. So they're really just trying to push people to the subscribe and save. Now, if I go and actually add this to my cart, you'll see that they use, I believe it is Recharge app, to go and actually go and finish everything else with the order, right? So you can enter in a discount code here, but it'll take you to a separate checkout page. So that way you know that when I'm subscribing and saving, then I'm actually going to be going and signing up for repeat orders every month. And if I go back and I just want to go and select the one-time purchase, you'll see that's totally an option as well. And if I go and add this to my cart, then it'll take me directly to the Shopify checkout page. But it is additional money, right? So it's 20% more than what you would be saving if you were to go and subscribe. But now I have the option to go and pay through Shop Pay or PayPal or something like that. So I think that's a good option. If anything, I would see if maybe they can go and create some kind of pop-up that maybe says, are you sure you only want to try one? Here's 20% off coupon code to go and subscribe and save, cancel anytime. So if they're trying to push people more to a subscription basis, I think that's a smart play. Now, the last thing that I want to add here is that I actually purchased Magic Mind and I love the product, which is why I wanted to go and do a review. And I think one of the smartest things that they did throughout the entire order process, whether it was the shipping confirmation or asking me to leave a review on the product, is that they sent me an email, and I want to pull up the email here really quickly. And I think it's really interesting where they sent an email, basically just a personalized video. It was 38 seconds from someone on their team, and they even used my name in the video, so I know it was personalized. And they said, hey, Connor, thank you so much for purchasing. I'd love to know if you have any questions or what you thought of the product. And I even ended up responding to them that same day on my thoughts of the product. So I think it's a really cool touch, easy way to go and add customer service. If you're at a manageable level where you can go and do this for every order you get, I think it's an easy way to go and build up brand loyalty, especially with a repeat product purchase like Magic Mind. If you found this video helpful, make sure to throw a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We post one of these every single week, so if you want to see your website get torn down, make sure to go and leave a comment below on the business you own and the website that you have, and I'll make sure to read every single comment.